Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to unpack fascinating concepts, really to help you get well-informed fast.
That's the goal.
And today we're diving into a question that's probably, well, way more relevant to your daily life than you might think. What if the most beautiful, glittering thing you ever laid eyes on was actually a trap? A cleverly disguised one.
Hmm.
How often do we find ourselves just completely mesmerized by something that promises, absolute perfection, only to realize, maybe way too late, that it was all just an illusion, a powerful, seductive one?
That's a really captivating way to put it, and it perfectly sets the stage for what we're exploring today. We're embarking on a deep dive, really getting into a timeless concept, one that's echoed through centuries, actually. We're
Hmm.
calling it the golden
The
deer.
golden deer. Okay.
It's an ancient idea, yes,
Hmm.
steeped in mythology, but its relevance, its startling relevance to our modern world, to your everyday choices.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so profound, I think.
Right. So where does this metaphor, this golden deer, actually come from? Tell us the origin.
Okay, so it originates in the ancient Indian epic, the Ramayana.
Ah.
For anyone not familiar, it describes this absolutely pivotal moment. Sita, who is Lord Ram's beloved wife, she sees this magical, glowing golden deer in the forest, and her enchantment, her deep desire for it, and then Ram's, devoted pursuit of it. Well, that sets off this whole cataclysmic chain of events.
Wow.
Yeah, truly profound and ultimately really tragic consequences for absolutely everyone involved.
Like the ultimate butterfly effect, maybe? Triggered by just one seemingly small desire?
Precisely. And what's truly fascinating here and really essential to grasp is that this isn't just about some mythological creature, with antlers and a shiny coat. The golden deer is a powerful metaphor. It stands for Maya.
Maya. Okay, what does that mean exactly?
It's a Sanskrit word, often translated as illusion or maybe delusion. It represents anything, absolute anything, that appears incredibly desirable, looks perfect, seems utterly essential for our happiness, but which is, at its core, fundamentally deceptive. It's not what it seems.
Yeah. And connecting that to today, to 2025,
Yeah.
how does that show up? The golden deer isn't actually running through our streets, right?
Right, exactly. It doesn't usually appear in an ancient forest anymore. Instead, maybe it manifests as a captivating smile, one that seems to promise the perfect romance,
Mm-hmm.
or the allure of an expensive perfume, maybe, or those curated, seemingly flawless lives you scroll past on Instagram.
Oh, definitely those.
Yeah, you might encounter it in a coffee shop conversation that feels just electric, or in the intense dynamics of office corridors. Competition, maybe, even during, say, a corporate retreat that promises transformation.
Interesting. So it's everywhere, basically.
An everyday thing, a pervasive phenomena, often disguised as, genuine opportunity or true connection or ultimate fulfillment, and we very often mistake it for reality. That's the key.
Oh, okay. So our mission then for this deep dive, it seems pretty clear. We want to take this ancient wisdom, this powerful metaphor, and apply it directly to your modern life, right now. Our goal is to help you understand why we so often chase these illusions, these glittering things. What's the real cost? Often devastating. And most importantly, how can we build up that discernment, that ability to recognize them before it's too late, before we're in real trouble?
Exactly.
Think of this as maybe your personal shortcut, a way to get really well informed about a universal, pervasive, and honestly often destructive human tendency. It shapes so many choices.
Absolutely. And this deep dive, I think, will uncover some surprising facts, some real insights, not just into the individual psychology that makes us vulnerable, but also into the bigger picture.
Hmm.
Societal influences, cultural stories, maybe even our biology that constantly fuel these chases.
It's more than just avoiding a trap, then.
Oh, much more. It's about cultivating profound discernment, real self-awareness.
Okay, so even as we start this conversation, let's invite you, the listener, to just pause for a second. Just consider right now, is there a golden deer you might be unknowingly chasing in your own life? Keep that thought simmering. Let it sit with you as we unpack this together. Okay, let's really get into this. To truly grasp the modern golden deer, we have to start at the source, right? The timeless origin.
Absolutely, you need that foundation.
The original story from the Ramayana, it paints such a vivid picture. There's Sita in this idyllic forest setting, and she's just completely captivated by this deer. The ancient texts describe it as like shimmering, glowing, almost otherworldly, beautiful, pure enchantment.
It's meant to be irresistible.
And her desire for it, though it seems innocent right then, it's immediate, it's profound, it's absolute. And Ram, because he loves her so much, his devotion, he agrees. He goes after it. He steps into what he probably thinks is just a simple hunt, a quick errand almost.
But it's rarely just a simple hunt, is it? That's precisely the point, and what makes the story so powerful. What's crucial here, what the story reveals with such devastating clarity, is the deception, the deep deception at its heart.
Right, because the deer...
The deer wasn't real, not a deer at all. It was Maricha, a powerful demon who had shape-shifted into this captivating, alluring form specifically to lure Ram away.
Wow. A deliberate trap.
Absolutely. And this single chase, started by a simple desire for beauty, it led to catastrophic consequences. The ripple effect was immense. It resulted in Sita's abduction by the demon king Ravana. That kicked off Ram's incredibly difficult, devastating war to get her back. And ultimately, unimaginable sorrow and destruction for so many beings, it changed the course of their world.
What strikes me there is the contrast, the simplicity of the initial desire wanting a pretty deer versus the sheer complexity and devastation of the outcome.
Exactly. It illustrates with chilling clarity how one small, seemingly innocent desire, if you pursue it without critical thought, without discernment, it can completely unravel much larger, stable realities, destroy peace, order, deep relationships, everything.
So the myth is really hammering home the deceptive nature of surface beauty, of that initial, intense attraction.
Absolutely. Portraying them as potent lures that can mask profound danger and consequences you just can't foresee. It's the ultimate cautionary tale about chasing the shiny object. Don't do it without thinking.
Okay, so that's the ancient epic tragedy. Powerful stuff. But here's where it gets, well, really interesting for us now and maybe a little unnerving. That deer hasn't vanished. It's just changed its disguise.
It's shape-shifted again, you could say.
Yeah, what the source material emphasizes is that today the golden deer shows up in countless forms, but perhaps most commonly, most subtly, in fleeting desires, especially in our relationships.
That's a common hunting ground for this illusion.
So let's look at a modern case study, one that probably plays out every single day, all around us. Imagine a young man, let's say he's 23, just starting out. Maybe fresh out of college, full of ambition, dreams just starting to form. Got a path ahead.
Okay, a pivotal time.
Maybe he's even in a loving relationship, a girlfriend who really cares for him, someone who's been there, shared the small wins, the disappointments, stable ground.
Right, seems like he's got a good foundation.
But then the illusion appears. He meets her.
Here it comes.
Could be anywhere. New job, a party, maybe just scrolling through perfectly curated social media profiles, and she offers a smile.
Just a smile.
Well, not just any smile to him. In that moment, it feels incandescent,
Yeah.
magical, something just clicks, or maybe unclicks inside him. Deeply unsettling, maybe.
Okay, so it hits him hard.
Yeah, this isn't just a pleasant moment. This smile, this new person, it almost instantly becomes an overwhelming obsession.
His golden deer.
Exactly. His golden deer, and his internal monologue starts spinning like crazy. If only I had her. If I could just be with her, then everything would finally click. Everything would be perfect.
Wow, that's a lot to put on one smile.
Totally. All my unfulfilled desires, my vague longings, that little feeling of something's missing, poof, gone. My life would finally be perfect.
It's an intoxicating thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
A complete fantasy built around a fleeting moment. He's projecting so much onto her already.
And just like any golden deer chase, the destructive pursuit begins almost immediately. He gets so utterly consumed by this new obsession, this laser focus on her, that he starts losing his grip on everything else that actually matters.
The real stuff.
Yeah. If he's still studying, his grades start to tank, misses classes, deadlines blur, performance plummets.
Okay, classic sign. Focus is gone.
His mind, once sharp, now just spirals constantly, replaying every little interaction, every glance, imagining future scenarios with her, daydreaming this perfect future that only exists in his head.
Where she's the magic key.
Right. His career, maybe just starting, begins to derail. Late for meetings, work quality suffers, commitment visibly wavers. He might even make rash decisions, jeopardizing everything he's worked for.
The research describes this really vividly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He chases, loses focus, grades drop, mind spirals, career derails. It's a downward spiral.
And then, often, quite abruptly, the crash. The bitter realization hits him. He wakes up from this self-imposed delusion, this fever dream.
The bubble bursts.
Yeah. He realizes that, okay, the smile was real, it happened, but the elaborate, perfect story he built around it, the idea that this one person held the key to all his happiness would solve all his problems. Pure Maya, illusion, mirage.
The deer he was chasing wasn't golden after
Yeah.
all, just a demon in disguise, metaphorically speaking. A projection of his own desires.
So what's going on there psychologically? You mentioned projection.
Yeah, let's unpack that because it's crucial. What's happening is projection. The young man wasn't just attracted to a smile in isolation. He unconsciously projected his own deep-seated stuff onto her. Maybe desires for perfection he felt he lacked, a need for validation, maybe an idealized future. He saw in her what he felt was missing in himself or in his current life.
Like painting your hopes onto a blank canvas and then thinking the canvas made the painting.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. And this is where we need to see the difference between genuine connection, which builds slowly, on shared values, mutual respect, real understanding, and pure infatuation.
Infatuation feels real, though,
Oh,
doesn't it?
absolutely. It feels incredibly real. But it's often driven by what we perceive we lack, or by an idealized idea of what someone could be for us rather than who they actually are. It feeds off that external sparkle, not necessarily real substance.
And you also mentioned something called illusory correlation.
Right, illusory correlation. It's a fascinating cognitive bias. Think of your brain as a super fast pattern detector, sometimes too fast. A single, really strong positive stimulus like that magical smile can trick your brain. It triggers this cascade of unwarranted positive assumptions about the person or situation.
So one good thing makes you assume everything else is good, too.
Basically, yes. It makes us believe two things are related when they aren't, or the link is much weaker than we think. Like one charming laugh makes you instantly assume they're also loyal, smart, perfect partner material, even with zero evidence.
And in his case,
In his case, one smile led to this whole elaborate narrative of future happiness and perfection, all built on incredibly shaky ground. A house of cards, really, destined to collapse.
and the danger is this pattern stops you investing in what's real.
Precisely. It can absolutely prevent individuals from investing deeply, authentically, patiently in existing healthy relationships, or even in their own personal growth. The lure of the quick fix is so powerful. This idea that a new person will magically solve everything, fill the void, erase insecurities,
It's easier than looking inward.
much easier.
Mm.
It's easier to chase that external sparkle than to do the hard, often uncomfortable work of internal reflection and growth.
And let's face it, our culture doesn't exactly help us resist this, does it?
Not at all. That's a huge piece of this.
Think about movies, songs, romance novels. They constantly celebrate the thrill of the new. The meet cute, the first kiss, the whirlwind romance.
The big dramatic gestures.
Exactly. But they rarely, if ever, show the quiet dedication, the tears held back, the sacrifices made, the sheer hard work behind keeping old, deep connections alive through years of, well, life.
They show the highlight reel, not the daily grind, not the messy middle.
They feed this golden deer mentality, making us think there's one perfect, effortless match out there who will just complete us.
Instead of encouraging us to find completeness within ourselves first, and then build genuine, often messy, but real connections that require effort and intention. It's a fantasy clashing with reality.
Okay, so we've seen how the golden deer can trap a young person just starting out. Powerful example. But the thing is, this illusion, it doesn't care how old you are, does it? It's an equal opportunity illusionist.
Absolutely not. It shows up at all life stages.
So let's shift gears. Let's talk about something that often feels like a different kind of trap, maybe more complex, what the research calls the midlife mirage.
Mm-hmm. The landscape changes, but the illusion persists.
This is where the golden deer can appear in lives that look, from the outside, totally stable, well-established. Let's take Rajesh. He's 42. By every external measure, he's built a solid life. Picture it.
Oh.
Beautiful, dedicated wife. They've been together for decades. 3 loving kids growing up. Nice car, comfortable home, stable job, good income.
He's ticked all the boxes, seemingly. Living the dream many aspire to.
Exactly. The picture of conventional success. Contentment, maybe.
Ah, there's the question. Because life, even one that looks perfect, is rarely static, right? And that inner contentment that can be elusive. So the catalyst for Rajesh's chase. It appears, maybe predictably, at a big industry conference. Somewhere sunny, like Goa.
A perfect setting for a mirage, like you said, away from the everyday.
Exactly. And he meets an intern. Bright, energetic, 26 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She's confident, charming. But what really gets him, what makes her shimmer like gold in his eyes, is how she engages with him.
How so?
She laughs genuinely at his jokes, maybe the ones his family rolls their eyes at now. She hangs on his stories, appreciates his experience, his insights, in a way that perhaps he feels he's not getting or not noticing at home anymore.
So it's not just physical attraction.
It might be part of it, sure, but it's much more about this powerful hit of renewed validation. It's like a mirror reflecting back a younger, more dynamic, more admired version of himself, a version he desperately misses or wants to recapture.
And as these interactions happen, maybe over a few days at the conference, the conversations deepen, the glances linger.
Hmm. The seeds are sown.
This inner voice starts whispering, seductive, insidious. He starts thinking, wow, maybe I have still got it. Maybe my best years aren't behind me.
The ego boost.
Huge ego boost. Maybe I deserve more excitement than this comfortable routine, more novelty, more passion.
The maybe is dangerous, isn't it?
Very potent. Maybe I can recapture that spark, that feeling of being desired, admired, that feeling of being new again.
It's a whole series of tempting thoughts, crafted by his own subconscious maybe, offering this tantalizing escape route. An escape from what feels maybe comfortable but also predictable,
Yeah.
stale, maybe even suffocating.
He starts building this whole alternate reality in his mind.
And what's truly heartbreaking here, tragic even, is what he starts to forget. Or maybe willfully ignore.
What does he forget?
He overlooks, dismisses, actively blocks out maybe the 20 years of shared history. Companionship, built day by day with his wife. He forgets her silent strength, the tears she held back, the sacrifices she made when he was struggling for that promotion he now takes for granted.
The foundation.
The absolute foundations. He forgets the sleepless nights with sick kids, the evenings at the kitchen table, calculating school fees, planning futures together, dreaming of their shared golden years.
All that intricate tapestry of shared life just fades.
It fades into the background,
Ugh.
completely eclipsed by this shimmering newness. All he sees, all he's consumed by is the golden deer, this new, seemingly perfect possibility that promises to erase all his doubts.
And just like Ram left his home to chase the deer.
Rajesh does too, metaphorically and often literally. He leaves his home to chase this illusion.
But the consequences, they're different today, aren't they? Maybe even more devastating personally.
Starkly different, and yes, arguably more devastating on that deep personal level. Unlike Ram, who had a physical Lanka to conquer, an external demon king, there's no grand, heroic battle for Rajesh, no epic story to tell.
Instead,
There are courtrooms, cold, harsh legal proceedings, financial settlements that cripple him, bitter custody battles,
shattered families.
shattered families, broken trust that may never be repaired, shared futures destroyed, leaving these deep, lasting wounds.
And the kids.
And perhaps the most painful part, children who are so confused, so hurt, they literally look away when he walks in, reflecting his failure back at him, a burden they'll carry for years.
Wow, that's heavy.
And here's the grim reality, the ultimate kicker, mirroring Marich's true form. When he finally gets the deer, when he commits to this new relationship, throws everything away for it, the shine starts to wear off. Fast.
It wasn't really golden.
He realizes, with this crushing weight of regret, it was never truly golden. It was, as the sources put it so well, just a coat of paint.
That go to paint.
Yeah. The initial charm, the novelty, the intense validation he craved, it wears off. It inevitably does. And it reveals this fundamental lack of deep substance, shared history, genuine compatibility, enduring commitment, the very things that were the true, if maybe unappreciated foundations of his previous life.
This isn't some grand myth. It's a very human, very modern tragedy happening all the time.
Exactly. Played out in countless homes. Let's dig into this midlife mirage a bit more. That need for external validation around midlife. It's incredibly potent, often subconscious.
Why midlife particularly?
Well, as we age, people might start questioning things. Their youthfulness, desirability, professional prowess,
Yeah.
even their relevance. Am I still valued? Am I still seen? The intern's admiration acted like this powerful, intoxicating mirror for Rajesh's ego, reflecting back that version of himself, younger, exciting, admired that he desperately wanted to believe was still there.
It blurred the lines between real connection and just an ego boost.
Completely. Made him feel seen and relevant in a way he perhaps perceived he wasn't anymore. And perception is key here.
This also sounds like the classic grass is greener fallacy.
Absolutely textbook. Why do people in stable, even loving relationships suddenly perceive more excitement elsewhere or feel they deserve more? Often it's a failure to consciously recognize, appreciate, and actively nurture the depth, security, and intimacy they already have.
Taking it for granted.
Taking it for granted. Precisely. Long-term relationships require consistent effort, conscious appreciation, working through challenges. It's work. The new shiny object requires none of that history, no baggage, no difficult conversations, just immediate, often superficial gratification. It promises novelty without the necessary work of building true intimacy. And that illusion of effortless perfection is incredibly compelling.
And the cost. We touched on it, but it's huge, isn't it? Far beyond just Rajesh's personal disappointment.
Immense. The ripple effects are devastating for the whole family. Emotional trauma for kids that can last a lifetime. Heartbreak for the spouse. Financial instability, fracturing lives in ways that are incredibly hard to mend.
The source comparing Ram's war to Rajesh's courtrooms,
Yeah.
that really hits home. Modern battles.
Yeah, it highlights the unique, often internal and domestic battlegrounds of our age. The destruction and pain are no less real, maybe even more insidious because they're so personal.
And that coat of paint metaphor.
It's so insightful. Speaks to the ephemeral nature of superficial allure. Initial charm. Novelty. It's a dazzling but hollow facade. It masks a lack of true substance, shared values, deep compatibility. Once that wears off, once the honeymoon phase ends, and it always does, profound disappointment sets in, the foundation isn't there. The illusion crumbles. Wreckage is left behind.
And society pushes us towards this. The youth obsession, success.
Big time. Societal pressures around perpetual youth, outward success, the relentless pursuit of excitement, FOMO, fear of missing out, they make people incredibly vulnerable to these illusions. We constantly confuse fleeting excitement or passion with true fulfillment. They're not the same thing at all. True fulfillment comes from depth, meaning, connection, purpose, not just a surface thrill.
So as you listen to Rajesh's story, and maybe it resonates, maybe you've seen it, really invite you again, reflect. Any instances in your life where something alluring, new, shiny, maybe blinded you, even briefly, to the true value, the quiet depth of what you already had?
It's a question worth pondering,
Yeah.
honestly, because we all face this test sooner or later.
Okay, so we've explored these powerful examples. Ancient myth, modern relationships. Very relatable, I think. Now let's transition. Let's look at the why. Why do we as humans, even knowing the risks sometimes, keep falling into this golden deer trap?
Right. Moving from the what to the why, the research and the framework we're using offer three really powerful insights into the roots of our susceptibility. Why are we vulnerable?
Okay, lay them on us. What's the first truth?
The first truth is fascinating and maybe a little uncomfortable to face, honestly. It's this. The smile reflects what's missing inside.
Okay, unpack that.
That intense attraction, that consuming obsession, whether it's for a new person, a shiny job offer, a new car, whatever, it's rarely, if ever, truly about the external object or person itself. Fundamentally, it's about what we feel we lack internally.
What kind of lack?
Could be anything. A deep craving for validation to be seen, admired. A desperate search for excitement to break up a mundane routine. A subconscious desire to recapture lost youth. A longing for freedom if we feel trapped.
So it's our own internal void projecting outwards.
Exactly. We can think about this concept psychologists sometimes call an internal void or inner emptiness. Not necessarily clinical, just that common human feeling of being incomplete, unfulfilled, unseen. And individuals might subconsciously try to fill that void with external things, relationships, experiences desperately hoping someone or something else can finally complete them.
Which leads straight to projection.
Straight to the projection of desires. We take our unmet needs, our insecurities, our idealized versions of ourselves, who we wish we were, what our life should look like, and we plaster them onto others. We create this golden image that doesn't really exist, making the person or opportunity a blank canvas for our own hopes and dreams.
Which means the real work isn't chasing the external thing.
Exactly. The crucial point is that true growth, lasting happiness, it comes not from frantically chasing external fixes, but from courageously addressing those internal lacks. Through honest self-reflection, building self-awareness, committing to personal growth, it's the work we often try to avoid because it's hard.
That's really insightful. We're looking for someone else to give us what we haven't found or built within ourselves, like maybe feeling unseen in a long-term relationship where the spark has faded, or feeling unappreciated at work, even if you're successful on paper.
Precisely. Or feeling trapped by routine, obligations, expectations, or just battling boredom and looking for any escape.
These internal states, these vulnerabilities, they make us sitting ducks for anything that promises to fill the gap.
Totally. Makes us incredibly susceptible to anything or anyone offering that promise, even if it's just a beautiful, fleeting illusion, a craving that clouds our judgment.
Okay. Powerful first truth. What's the second one?
The second truth is equally profound, I think, and speaks directly to our modern lives. It's this. Media and culture have glamorized the chase.
Ah, okay. We touched on this, the movies, the songs.
Exactly. Our songs, movies, the endless Instagram highlight reels, popular stories, they are constantly, relentlessly celebrating the thrill of new love, the spark of the first meeting, the excitement of a new conquest. But think about the broader implication. They rarely, if ever, show the quiet tears, the sacrifices, the mundane but crucial hard work, the unwavering commitment behind maintaining old, deep connections. Over the long haul.
They show the glossy trailer, not the whole movie with all its boring bits.
Perfect analogy. They show the Instagram-filtered perfection, not the daily grind, the disagreements, the quiet, unglamorous moments of just sticking it out, of choosing commitment again and again.
So there's a narrative bias.
A strong narrative bias. Entertainment focuses almost exclusively on beginnings, the chase, the spark, the drama, rather than the challenging but ultimately rewarding journey of long-term commitment. Plus, you layer on our instant gratification culture, amplified hugely by social media, constant digital pings.
We want everything now.
We want it now. It cultivates this relentless desire for immediate rewards, quick fixes, novelty, and this subtly but powerfully devalues patience, sustained effort, the slow, organic, often imperfect growth needed for real, enduring relationships.
So it sets unrealistic expectations.
Totally unrealistic expectations for what real relationships should feel like day in, day out, which leads to disappointment with genuine connections that are less dramatic, maybe, but potentially much deeper.
Like those rom-com tropes. The meet cute, the rain confession.
All of it. The serendipitous meeting, the dramatic declaration, the grand gesture that magically solves everything, they all implicitly glorify fleeting, intense passion over enduring, resilient partnership. And social media reels of perfect couples, celebrity relationship drama, it just reinforces this illusion of effortless perfection, which is deeply unhelpful.
Yeah, it creates this pressure. If every day doesn't feel like that first passionate week, something must be wrong, either with me or with the relationship.
Exactly, which leads us very neatly into the third crucial truth.
Okay, what is it?
We mistake chemistry for compatibility.
Chemistry versus compatibility. Big difference.
Huge difference. The research is clear. We often equate that strong initial pull, those exciting sparks, that undeniable chemistry, with a deep, lasting connection. But the harsh reality, often painful, is this. The best, most enduring connections. They aren't usually fleeting sparks, however dazzling they feel. They're slow-burning fires. Fires that last through many winters, warming you steadily, reliably, profoundly, through thick and thin, through life's storms.
Okay, let's really define those terms then. Chemistry.
Chemistry is that immediate, often intense emotional and physical attraction. It's visceral, exhilarating. That magnetic pull, it's dopamine, serotonin, all those feel-good brain chemicals lighting up, feels amazing.
And compatibility.
Compatibility, that's much deeper, more foundational. It's like a complex mix of things. Shared core values, alignment on big life goals. Do you actually want the same things long-term? Complementary communication styles, how do you handle conflict? Similar approaches to solving problems. Mutual respect underpinning everything. A shared vision for life.
So chemistry is the sizzle.
Chemistry is the initial sizzle, the exciting idea of connection. Compatibility is the profound substance that allows a relationship to actually endure, grow, and thrive for decades.
And the danger is that chemistry blinds us to the lack of compatibility.
That's the deception of infatuation, exactly. The intense emotions of that initial chemistry can completely override your rational assessment of true compatibility. When you're in that early high, your critical thinking skills are, well, diminished. Your brain's flooded with positive chemicals. You're far less likely to see red flags or notice fundamental differences. You explain them away.
So how do you build that slow-burning fire of compatibility then? It doesn't just happen.
Definitely doesn't just happen. It requires trust, meticulously built over time through consistent actions, reliability, shared experiences. It takes time. It requires shared vulnerability, the courage to let each other be truly seen, flaws and all. It demands mutual support through challenges, setbacks, and a conscious commitment to keep growing individually and together.
These aren't exciting instant feelings.
Not at all. They are hard-won qualities, developed through shared effort, patience, intention, over months and years.
You used an analogy before, the house.
Yeah, the house analogy works well here, I think. Chemistry is like the dazzling facade.
Yeah.
Beautiful paint, stunning landscaping, great curb appeal, makes you instantly want it, looks good from the outside.
Okay.
But compatibility, that's the strong foundation. The reliable plumbing, the robust electrical system, the solid framing. It's the unseen essential stuff that actually makes the house livable, comfortable, safe, sustainable for decades.
And without that foundation.
Without that strong foundation of compatibility, no matter how beautiful the facade, no matter how much initial excitement, the house will eventually crumble under time and challenges. We desperately want both, of course. But we often, to our detriment, prioritize the immediate glitter over the crucial groundwork.
Okay, so we've really unpacked the nature of the golden deer, why we chase it, pretty deeply. Now let's shift focus again. The ancient wisdom we're drawing on. It turns beautifully to Ram himself, doesn't it? Offering crucial insights on how to navigate this, how to turn illusion into actual insight.
Exactly. What's really powerful is Ram's path after the deception. After the illusion is revealed, he did chase the deer. He fell for it, like any human might. It's important to remember that. But once he realized the truth merges disguise, Sita's abduction, he didn't just wallow in self-pity. He didn't just blame Sita for wanting the deer or curse his fate.
What did he do?
The core idea, the profound lesson, is that he took responsibility. Profound responsibility for his actions and the monumental consequences. He faced Ravana, he engaged in that massive, arduous war, and ultimately, through immense effort and sacrifice, he rebuilt his family, restored order.
So the lesson isn't never make a mistake.
Not at all. That's unrealistic. The lesson isn't about being flawless or immune to illusion. We'll all be tempted. Instead, it's about cultivating the awareness to recognize the mistake, maybe even while you're making it or soon after. Then taking full accountability for your choices once you see clearly. And then actively working with purpose and intention to rectify the situation, to fix what's broken.
So the narrative shifts from victim to agent.
Exactly. From being a passive victim of illusion to becoming an empowered agent of change. Taking decisive action to reclaim your agency, your purpose, your integrity. That's the power move.
Okay. So how do we apply Ram's wisdom practically? In our complex modern lives, let's go back to our young man, 23 years old, maybe tempted by that golden smile.
Right.
If you are that young man right now, maybe feeling consumed by this new person who seems to promise everything, what's the guidance?
The guidance is simple but profoundly crucial. Pause. Just pause. Take a deep breath. Don't act immediately on that intense, exhilarating feeling, no matter how overwhelming it feels. Give it space.
And in that pause, ask yourself something specific.
Yes. Here's the crucial question to ask yourself in that vital moment of reflection, really allowing for honest introspection. Is this person truly your partner in growth? Or are they simply a beautifully wrapped distraction?
Partner in growth versus distraction. Let's define those. What's a partner in growth?
A partner in growth. That's someone who genuinely challenges you in supportive ways to be better. Someone who unequivocally supports your authentic aspirations, your deepest dreams. Not just the superficial stuff, someone who actively fosters your self-improvement and who truly wants to share your journey of development, warts and all. They contribute meaningfully to your flourishing, even when it's uncomfortable.
And a distraction.
A distraction, on the other hand, despite its initial allure, ultimately pulls you away from your true path, derails your core focus, offers only superficial or temporary gratification. It's important to note, a distraction isn't inherently evil or bad. But if it consistently takes you off course from your core purpose, your personal development, your long-term well-being, then it becomes deeply problematic.
So that moment of intentional reflection, asking that question before acting, that's key.
Absolutely paramount to avoiding your own personal modern-day Ramayana.
Okay, now let's turn to the married man, like Rajesh, or anyone in a long-term relationship, really. If you're in that situation and you find yourself seeing, or thinking you see, exhilarating excitement in someone new, what's the guidance?
The same core guidance applies, maybe even more recently. Pause. This is a truly critical moment for self-inquiry, not impulsive action. The stakes are often higher.
And the crucial question for them.
The crucial, potentially piercing question for you in that moment of temptation is this. What are you truly escaping from? Is it your marriage? Or is it actually your own inner emptiness?
Wow, that's a tough question to ask yourself, honestly.
It is, but it's a profound, often overlooked distinction. So often, what looks like deep dissatisfaction with a relationship is actually a manifestation of unresolved dissatisfaction with oneself, or unaddressed personal issues, fears, aspirations, being unconsciously projected onto the relationship, making it the scapegoat.
So the illusion is thinking a new person will fix the internal problem.
Exactly. The dangerous belief that a new person, a new relationship, will magically solve existing internal problems or fill that long-standing void. But in reality, fundamental issues, insecurities, unmet needs, stagnation, fear of aging, they usually persist. Regardless of the partner, they just reappear in a new context.
So this perspective pushes for introspection first.
Absolutely. It strongly advocates for deep introspection, addressing personal needs, vulnerabilities, aspirations directly within yourself, or perhaps within the existing relationship through open, honest communication and real effort. Rather than seeking an external temporary fix that ultimately just kicks the can down the road,
Ah.
often leaving more damage in its wake, it's about doing the necessary inner work.
Which brings us to a universal principle you mentioned the sources emphasize.
Yes, a really powerful one. Relationships are not prisons, but neither are they playgrounds.
Okay. Simple statement, but feels deep. What does it mean?
It cuts through so much distortion, I think. Those simplistic views we fall into. Relationships are not meant to be suffocating obligations that trap us, limit freedom, stifle growth. That's a misunderstanding of their potential.
But they're not just for fun either.
Exactly. But equally, they are not just endless sources of fleeting fun and immediate pleasure, designed solely for our gratification, without any sense of responsibility or commitment. The mature, wise perspective sees relationships as complex, rich spaces. Spaces for mutual growth, for pursuing shared purpose, for cultivating deep, enduring connection, which requires consistent effort, real intention, and a profound sense of responsibility towards another person's well-being, as well as your own.
They're commitments, not just sources of pleasure.
They are commitments. Understanding this allows for a more realistic, fulfilling, and sustainable approach. Setting healthy boundaries, yes, but also fully respecting the commitment inherent in a deep, lasting partnership.
So we encourage you, the listener, to maybe reevaluate your own perceptions of what a relationship should be.
Definitely. Moving beyond those idealized or overly restrictive definitions that might be holding you back from cultivating truly authentic, meaningful connection in your own life.
Okay, as we bring this deep dive to a close, let's just reiterate a core truth here, an enduring one. In every age, illusions will come. Human nature kind of guarantees it, right?
Yeah, it seems so, yeah.
The golden deer will always return. Shiny, graceful, full of that tantalizing promise,
Yeah.
just like it was for Sita, for the young man, for Rajesh.
Its form might change, its disguise might be updated for the times, but its seductive allure remains constant. It will find your weak spots.
But here's the real mark of maturity, isn't it? The profound wisdom we hope you take away from this conversation today.
Yes. It's not about rejecting beauty or denying natural attraction. That's impossible and probably unhealthy anyway. Instead, true maturity lies in cultivating the discernment, that inner clarity, the ability to recognize illusion before it costs you everything.
Your peace, your relationships, your career, your self-respect.
All of it. This is about discernment, cultivating an inner wisdom that lets you see through the glitter to the real substance, or the lack of it. It's about wisdom, not deprivation. Seeing clearly.
So as you go out from this conversation into your day, your week, we really encourage you. Let your smile be one that builds lives, that fosters connection, strengthens genuine bonds, not one that carelessly or selfishly breaks hearts. Think about your impact.
Be a force for creation, not destruction, in your interactions.
And fundamentally,
Let your chase the primary pursuit, guiding your life, be towards purpose, not just fleeting pleasure. This is a huge reorientation, potentially. Focusing on long-term fulfillment, meaningful contribution, genuine hard-won wisdom, rather than just the immediate superficial gratification that honestly often leaves you feeling empty afterwards.
chase what truly matters in the long run.
Exactly. And remember this final provocative thought, something to maybe mull over after this deep dive ends. What glitters, what shines so brightly? It is not always gold. We know that intellectually, but we forget it emotionally. Sometimes, maybe often, it's just another test from life to see if you've truly grown wiser.
Wow. Viewing temptation not just as a distraction, but as an opportunity for self-assessment, for growth.
Precisely. Shifting perception from external challenges happening to you, powerful internal lessons for you, reinforcing that desire for aha moments, for deeper understanding of yourself and the world.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the golden deer, its illusions, its lessons. So relevant today.
We truly hope this conversation has given you some powerful tools for discernment, maybe a fresh perspective on your own choices, past, present, or future.
If you found this deep dive meaningful, if it resonated, maybe hit home, please consider sharing it. Share it with someone you know who might be unknowingly chasing their own golden deer right now.
It really could be the insight, the pause, the catalyst they need to see things more clearly.
Until next time.
Stay grounded, stay wise, and don't fall for the illusion.